What's up guys, Cali Sunset Gaming with you again, and today I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on how to improve your FIFA 20 career mode experience. A lot of things have happened recently with FIFA 20. The way that it's treated its streamers as well as the gameplay itself has led a lot of people to boycott it and go on strike and move over to Pro Evolution Soccer or Pro Evo Super Sports E2020 Fantastico. I'm not too sure of the name anymore. What I wanted to do is create a video for people that aren't involved in all of that and are stuck with FIFA 20 until FIFA 2021 comes out, or we all move over to PES. So these 5 tips are going to be great to give you information on how to improve your FIFA 20 career mode. And stick around for the 5th one, because that is definitely the most interesting and most radical in terms of how to improve your experience on the FIFA 20 manager career mode. So tip number 1, start your career mode with a team that you've never heard of before in a division that you're not familiar with. Now the reason that I say this is because most of the time when you buy FIFA 20, the first thing you'll do is be your favourite team. If you're not doing that, then chances are that you're doing something like a Road to Glory instead, but still you would pick a team that you are familiar with. What I suggest is that you play FIFA 20 career mode and you manage a team that you've never heard of before, just so that you have new sets of challenges coming your way each season. Not only getting to know the players that you've got, but also developing their ability and trying to get them to whichever cup it is that they're competing for. So there's over 30 leagues to choose from, especially if you think about the recent inclusion of the South American competitions. Picture this. You pick a team in a division that you're not familiar with a team that you don't know about. And as you open it, you're looking through the squad and you think to yourself, you know, there's some 70 rated players here. We might have the opportunity to win a trophy, even though I have no idea if they've ever won a trophy before. And then as soon as you look into it and you think you see players that you recognise, but you don't recognise them at all, that's when you think to yourself, wow, I'm doomed. To me, it just makes it a lot more challenging to play as a team that you're unfamiliar with, rather than a team that you are used to. You know the players, you know the players' ability, you know their growth expectations, and you know what the team's meant to achieve. Tip number 2 is give yourself a transfer ban. Now, a transfer ban is something you can implement in the first transfer window. That's something that you can include to stop other teams making transfers so that it stays as authentic for as long as possible, because usually if you turn that off, the transfers just go through the roof in terms of the big name players that move around. And if you want to keep it close to life, then disabling that transfer window is what a lot of people usually do. What I would suggest is give yourself a window of like, I don't know, 5, where you can't make any transfers whatsoever, so you just have to utilise the training academy that you've got available to you. This makes the game much more difficult and much more challenging when you're trying to think of players on who can replace your older players in specific roles, and it just sort of pushes you to use the training academy and as well as the scouts as well to try and provide you with new young players that you have to build up from scratch to be the players that you want them to be, rather than purchasing the finished article, which is what a lot of people tend to do. The reason I got this idea is just from my Chelsea career mode. Originally, when I first started it, before I started my YouTube channel, Chelsea had a ban of 2 windows. What I thought I would do is just implement the same as what Frank Lampard's been subject to. Obviously it's changed since that point and he was only banned for 1 window. So from there I wanted to keep it real to life, didn't make any transfers, and just did what Frank Lampard's doing at the moment and just concentrating on bringing the youth through the ranks. It made the game a lot more interesting, and I thought to myself, whenever I sign for a new team, what I would do is concentrate on building up the young players. Tip number 3, to make the game even more challenging, do not use the training mini games that are available to you on the main dashboard. So usually what most people tend to do is get all the young players, get them doing those training mini games, simulate them, and before you know it, Mason Mount's rated 97 even though he's only 25 years old. To me, it's one of those things that's almost like a cheat, even though it's something that you can do normally, so it's not really classed as a cheat. Players tend to grow rapidly and you don't really even have to play them in a game before they can get really highly rated. There's no buffer to stop players reaching a certain peak, and instead they can just reach the absolute pinnacle of prowess without even actually stepping foot onto the field. To make it more interesting, completely disregard that training aspect. It's something that you will notice on my FIFA 20 career mode that I'm doing on my YouTube channel currently, that I will not be using the training, just because I think that it's unfair, even though the opposition are battering me every week. Maybe I need to rethink that. I just think it's something that if you don't use it, it makes the game more challenging. As said before, you're concentrating more on youth, you're concentrating more on developing the player's ability by natural growth. It means that the game will be a lot more challenging. The growth when you're playing players will take a lot longer. You'll be forced to play younger players to get them integrated into the position you're expecting to replace the older player with. As a result, it may mean that you're not playing as well as you would expect, but eventually when that player becomes good, you know that you've built them up naturally and you've not used the buffers that are available to you on the main menu. Tip number 4, become a mercenary. Now, I don't mean that by put FIFA 20 down, walk out and start offering people contracts to put bounties on people's heads. What I mean is, once you've won all of the silverware for the team that you play for, move on, do as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, dominate one team, move on to another, and then just see how many titles it is that you can win. The only downside to this is that FIFA don't really keep track of the competitions that you do win. It would be really good if FIFA sort of integrated commentary, little sound bites that just sort of advise what sort of trophies that you've won, how prestigious you are as a manager. I think that's something definitely that they should include in FIFA 2021. But for now, on FIFA 20, it definitely is best just to see how many titles it is that you can win across as many leagues as possible. Tip number 5, the last and final tip, which is probably one that's going to be the most time consuming for you to initially set up, is to create your friends and all have them play for the same team, the first team that it is that you're going to manage. The reason that this is such an awesome idea is because not only can you integrate all of your friends into a specific team that you then go on to manage, is that you can spend time putting their stats to what you believe is realistic for them. Once you've done that and you've started your career mode, you can then move on to playing throughout the seasons and see how far you can get. If you start with a really low league side, then what you can do is obviously fight towards promotion, get into that top flight league, but you're doing it with all the people that you know in real life as part of the team. The best way to do it is from the main menu, go over to the create a player section, and then from there select male, and then get to work on making all of your friends. Once you've done that, implement them into the team that you plan on playing with first. I would advise a low league side so you can literally build them from nothing all the way to the top. It's even better doing a road to glory when you've got your friends involved in the game. It makes the career mode a lot more interesting when you're just playing through and just say you have sold some of your friends to alternate teams. When it pops up saying Best Player in Europe award given to, and it's one of your friends, it's just one of those things that's like really small, but it just keeps the entertainment levels up, because after a while, even though they have implemented loads of things in the FIFA 20 career mode, it can get a bit samey. So something like this changes it up a little bit, just makes it a little bit more entertaining as you're playing through, because when you get to the latter stages of the career mode, such as season 10 and onwards, a lot of the players that are the familiar players that you're used to watching on TV week in, week out will not be there anymore. So this keeps that level of entertainment up as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I wanted to do something just a little bit different, give you 5 ways to improve your FIFA career mode experience. If you did enjoy the video, please do not forget to subscribe as well as like. And if you've got any other tips in terms of how other people can improve their career mode experience, then leave a comment in the comment section below. What I want to do is get as many comments as possible and get as many people talking as possible about how we can improve the overall career mode in anticipation for FIFA 21 coming out this year. Will we all be playing FIFA 21? Leave a comment in the comment section below just to let me know if it's definitely something you're going to be investing in, or you're going to move over to PES. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, that way you can get an update every time I release a brand new video. I do a FIFA 20 career mode with Chelsea currently, even though I'm probably going to get sacked in the coming weeks, so it will probably be for another team as well.
Oh god, how am I going to cut that out?
You guys have been awesome, and I will catch you next time on Cali Sunset Gaming.